Well, today I'm going to be fixing a chip in my windshield right here. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I had this repaired professionally a year ago when it was just a little chip, and now there's a tiny bit of a tail coming out of it. I don't know if I'm going to have to go any further, if I have to replace the windshield, who knows, but I'm going to stop it from spreading for now. And it's giving me an opportunity to test out this. This is a Visbella stone chip repair kit, and this one's a little bit unique in that it's got a UV light in there for drying the resin, and it's got everything you need in there to do a couple of repairs. These were sent to me by a company that I'll list in the description, and if you're seeing this video, it's because it worked. I'm not going to review a product that doesn't work and put a review up that doesn't work. But if you're seeing this video, it's because this worked. So I'm going to get everything set up. This is going to take, if you do this, it's going to take about an hour, because there's a few moments where you have to leave suction on the resin to suck up the air that's inside the chip. And then you have to allow time for the resin to flow into the chip, and then drying time. And it's a cloudy day as well, which makes it takes a little longer drying time. So anyway, first we'll see what's in the kit. I've got one open. No, I don't. Hold on one second. I'll open one up. Okay, so this kit's a heck of a lot more thorough than most kits you buy in the store or in an auto parts store with everything. In this little bag, there's a few of the little rubber double-sided seals that you seal the little suction cup to the windshield with. It's got the plunger. It's got an extension for the plunger for doing it. It's metal, and it's like bendy. Pretty cool. I'm actually find a use for that afterwards. The resin, the UV light for drying the resin, the instructions, and enough stuff in here to do, it looks like 2 to 3 repairs. It's got the razor blade included and a little pick to chip out any remnants of glass that might be within the hole. So anyway, I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to do it I'm going to put the camera inside actually the car and film from inside, and then I'll just my voice is killing me, so I'm just gonna type the instructions on the screen. I'll just end up having them listed down there so you can read the instructions, because you're not gonna be able to hear me through the windshield. And again, this is going to take almost an hour altogether. So yeah, I'll get set up and we'll start this and see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to take the razor blade, clean this off, any gunk left around the windshield. Pick out any of the old resin. They do send you a little pick for this. Might as well use it. It's just a little red, like a push pin. It's just to loosen any debris, any old glass and stuff that's inside there. Ugh, I hate this sound. Wipe it clean. I'm going to take one of the adhesive backed, they're double-sided, and this is to adhere the little rubber snorkel thingy that pushes all the resin into it. So it's got a hole in the middle. Sorry, I just got to get this double-sided tape off. Center this over the hole, or the chip. And then take the red side, that's another cover of the double-sided tape. Sorry, I hope this isn't boring because I'm doing it in real time. I'm going to grab one of the rubber O-rings in the kit, like this, and it goes in the center to seal around the little rubber adapter. I'm going to take the rubber adapter, that's where the resin goes in, and I probably should have put that little tab up because you want it facing up and it helps you center it. I'm just gonna have to center this by eye. No. How about there? And push that in place. Because you want this little nozzle piece facing straight up and down. And make sure it's securely on there. Take the resin bottle and cut off the little tip so you can get resin out. And it says to drip about half the bottle into there, which I'm not going to be able to see where half the bottle is, where half is. This is why I've got a shop towel underneath, so none of this stuff goes down and gets on my windshield wipers. And I can see it dripping down inside there. I get about half the bottle in there according to this. Okay, I'm hoping that's about half the bottle. I'll recap this. And now we're going to take the syringe, and you see there's a little spring on the syringe. That's to catch. There's little grooves in it to hold them. See, there's one there, and you can turn it to move it past it. So anyway, we're going to push this all the way in. Hook that on good, and then pull up to the first notch, and that's going to suck the resin, all the air out, and allow the resin to move into the crack or chip. Just pull it slowly. If you let go, it'll actually pull back down. Oh, I'm supposed to have it turned this way to lock into the spring. Where's the little lock? There we go. Okay. And now we're going to leave this for 10 minutes. So I'll turn off the camera and be back in 10 minutes. You're leaving it that way to suck all the air out. Back in a minute. Okay, so this has been sitting in place for about 12 minutes now. And I'm just going to pull the plunger and break the air seal. Place it back on. And there's 2 notches on this. I'm going to turn and push down. See the second notch? And then lock that in place. And now I'm going to leave that for 15 minutes. Back in a bit. Okay, it's been about 15, 16 minutes. So now I can pop the plunger off. Grab your razor blade and cut this whole thing off the windshield. You don't want to cut into this, but in case you can use it again. Okay, there we go. Eek. Okay, don't go wiping this yet. Gum off from the, but don't wipe that, you'll just make a mess. And you can see there's still wet resin on there, so take your resin bottle and put another drop on top of there. Take one of the clear plastic patches that comes with the kit. I put some tape on it. They did recommend in the kit to put some tape on it. Oops, I lost all my resin. Let's push that resin back up to the crack and place that over. Use the tape to keep it from sliding off. And then kind of rub over top of it to kind of push the air out. There we go, that's better. It's just kind of like squeegeeing a decal or window tint film on. Okay, and we're going to leave that. The kit here is kind of vague about how long, because it actually says you can leave it to set as long as you want. There's no time limit. I don't know. So I'm going to leave that for 15 minutes like that, and then we're going to come back and cure it with the UV light. Supposedly you can use, if it's a sunny day, you can just let it bake in the sun. I don't have any sun today, so I'm going to use the little UV light to cure it, but I'm going to let that sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Like it says, you still want to remove it when it's wet, but I don't think it's going to dry completely yet. It should, again, it's not sunny out, so it's not going to have any chance of drying within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Or curing, whatever you want to call it. Make sure that's nice and spread under there. No air bubbles. See the air bubble there? That's what you don't want around your crack. See that air bubble that I'm touching? That's what you don't want around your repair. There's none there, so we'll leave that for 15 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, I've waited about 15, 20 minutes. Peel this off. Well, it's starting to harden a bit under there. So I guess 15, 20 minutes was just about right in a day like today. And now it's just 5 minutes with a UV light. So I'm going to turn this little UV light on. I'm going to place it over I don't want to sit here for 5 minutes holding it over the crack. And put a piece of tape on it and hold it over the repair for 5 minutes. I'll just leave it for 10, it doesn't really matter. And when we come back, we'll clean it up and see what it looks like. But, you know, supposedly you can let this cure for about 10-15 minutes in direct sunlight or use the UV light for 3 to 5 minutes. I'm just, like I said, gonna leave this for like 10-15 minutes directly over top and let it cure. Back in a bit. Funny, I just figured out what this little plunger, extra plunger, and this little flexible rod were for in the kit. There's a hole on the back of that UV light. You can stick this end of the rod in, stick this end of the flexible rod in the plunger, stick it to your windshield and point it at the repair. So you don't have to hold it for 10 minutes, which is pretty cool. But there's actually nothing in the instructions explaining that. I just figured it out now. Actually, since there's no other use in the kit for these things, that must be what they're for. But it's cool that they included that in there so you don't have to, you know, use a piece of tape like some people. Again, I'm letting this set for 10 to 15 minutes. Or no, well, it says 5. I'm going to leave it for 10. It can't hurt to cure it any longer. It's not going to make it any worse. So I'll just leave it for about 10. And it's starting to get a little bit sunny out, so maybe that'll help cure it as well. But I'll show you this when it's all done. Okay, we've been sitting here for about 15 minutes with the UV light on it. So I'm going to take the razor blade, take this UV light off. Oops, turn it off. And then scrape down the layer of resin over top that has dried on top of there. right at the tip of the razor blade. Oops, where am I? Right there. Barely see it. Hold on, hold the razor blade pointing at it. I don't know if you can see it. It's barely visible. And there's no grabbing, no nothing when I run the razor over top of it, so it's nice and smooth and even. Huh. Not bad. I have used other kits that I've gotten from auto parts stores and stuff before. They've never really worked. This one's not bad at all. This company sent me this one to evaluate. I've never, I'm going to put a link to in the description. I will put a link to where you can purchase it. I don't know how much it costs or anything. I'm not sure the price of this kit. In Canada here, usually they're about $15, $18. And they don't work this well. Not bad at all, actually. Right there at the tip of my finger. Don't know if you can see it. But barely visible. So hopefully that'll keep a crack from spreading and me from having to put another windshield in this car. A little bit of resin in different places from my gloves from touching the window, but it easily comes off with the razor blade. It does come with a little polishing cloth for when you're done. I just didn't use it. I've got shop rags that I'm using. Anyway, yeah, not bad at all. Thank you for watching. And again, in the description of the video, there will be a link to purchase this if you like it. I can't say how long it's going to hold up. I have no idea, but it looks pretty good from here. Thanks for watching. Okay, again, this kit is by Visbella. And there is their information on the back. No, there's no phone number or anything. But again, I will put the description, in the description, I will put a link to where you can purchase this. Anyway, thanks again for watching.